Hello, how's it going? Hi, we have here with us Marty, Devin, and Chef. Um, can I call you David or Devin? Yes, perfect. Or Chef. What's your your username or nickname? I don't even know what you call it anymore.
Yeah, chef because what I do is cook is how it could be equated. So I just became chef.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'm really excited to have you guys here today. Also, just because, I've seen your big announcement, and I just thought, you know what, when I was speaking to Swanee about just my streams and getting like cool guests and so on, and Swanee's so amazing. She always has like amazing connections, and she's always doing cool stuff. And then she mentioned you guys, and obviously I've seen the headset, like the earphones, and yeah, I just thought, you know what, like this is actually a really cool product, and it deserves I definitely want to dive into it, and it deserves a stream. So I'm super glad that you guys made the time and come here today. So yeah, again, like we'll have a chill conversation. I think it's a pretty interesting time in the market. Also, by the way, like I was just scrolling before joining, and I saw that President Trump has pardoned CZ today. So that's pretty big news. Is that bullish for our bags? I don't know, but hopefully yes. I don't know what that means. Is he going to come back to Binance? I don't know. A lot of questions. I need to look into it. I don't know if you guys have these answers, but
I did not know that. That's actually significant news. I heard some rumors about Sam Bankman being on that list, but CZ was that's cool. That's interesting.
yeah, that was quick. That was pretty
Yeah.
quick. But it happened now. Huh? It's not like you missed the news or anything. It literally happened like 10 minutes ago
Oh,
before
okay,
we.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're not like late.
News that I didn't somehow hear about.
No, no, you guys are tapped in. Don't worry. It's just me. I was like, yeah, so that's pretty good. I mean, let's see how the market's gonna react. I feel like I don't know. It's been rough. Like Trump has just been playing around with everybody and keeping us in like just in this like limbo. So let's see. I guess we have to look at what the U.S. is doing, even if we're not in the U.S. It's funny how it like has such a big effect on the rest of the world. I know you guys are not in the U.S. right now either, but we still keep track. Time zone permitting, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you guys have a really interesting journey as founders in Web3. I was just saying earlier, and oh, I see people in the chat. By the way, we have Max saying GM and Flu. Flu saying, "Oh my God, Devin and DL, nice." Hey guys, good to see you. You guys have a really interesting journey as founders, and also in terms of company. I think it's something that people really underestimate in Web3. It is such a, uncertain environment. If you decide to build something or have a sustainable business model, you're operating in an environment that is really very much dependent to the fluctuations of the markets and various trends and so many different other points that make it really unstable and really tough. Like your product, your company may be the best idea, and we do see this in tech as well. But timing is so important, and maybe a little bit even more than if you're building in tech. Like you could have the best idea, but if you decide to launch, and I mean, I've seen it myself, like, working in the last cycle, products that launched just at the tip of the market, best idea unfortunately didn't survive. So, and you guys have, stood the test of the cycles. So I think it's a really interesting, experience to have, especially, and you're building a physical product. How did it all start? I want to hear about the lore. Like, what's your origin story? And people are saying the Bays are back in town.
That we are. No, we got started. What was it? 2020.
3 years ago.
Two. There was a gentleman who a lot of you in the chat probably know, DJ Kaku. So Kaku's a producer, DJ, and here in Taiwan, or actually not anymore, but was. in Taiwan, and kind of brought this team together around this very interesting idea of essentially doing what Artifact did, but for headphones. And so he brought on a lot of people he trusted, different people with different skill sets. The designer of the product was I Am Complex, or Brian. He did Oni Force, the pretty much like first anime PFP collection. This is before that, so he's designed the product. David here, he was the founding engineer of Beats by Dre, so of course he's perfect advisor for that role. And then some other people. Flu's in the chat. Flu's a fantastic community builder. Cro-Magnus is a fantastic artist. Did a lot of our PFP and avatar art, all of it. And then myself, more on the Web3 and community building side as well. So we came together from our respective projects or companies that we were working at, and over time started to realize, okay, yeah, this would maybe be more of a business. Obviously, there's a lot of turns, here, there, everywhere. The market was leaving a bull market in 2022 when we were kind of launching this. We were in the free mint meta, if you remember that time. So it was free mint, come on in, build with us, prototype hardware. And
we should probably mention that the community was built around like audio creators,
Yes.
music, like that was the core of the audience. So it wasn't just another NFT. It was audio creators were building something, a phygital that complements that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
so-
back in the last cycle, you had the whole music NFTs movement,
Right.
which didn't really, I think, like didn't really picked up. And it's interesting because we always talk about music, and it's one of the most commoditized sort of like arts in that sense. So it's really hard, I think, for creators to really achieve that level. And we do see like there are some musicians that have built a community and so on, but definitely the space is music NFTs did not, I would say, like achieve what people would want them to.
what we initially like set off to do was like listen to earn. Really, the creators of music or that content put it out there, and whoever listens to it through smart contracts and blockchain order, they get the value from the viewership, right? So that was the original idea.
Yeah, and we had an advantage that other people did not, which was hardware, right? And we were developing this hardware, and we could bring this all together. And again, I would say a lot of it is still very true to this day, and what we do with our blockchain components. Granted, a lot of it is more tucked behind the scenes because we do understand that everyone uses headphones. We should probably allow everyone to use these without feeling uncomfortable, and then have that value layer there, and develop that value layer even more so that we can build something very new. But the ultimate vision here is we're in the same building actually. We sat on the roof, DL and I, 3 years ago, and thought, how do we use the technology that is blockchain? How do we use the hardware that we have that is novel, the community that we have at our back, and build an interactive audio experience, right? Experience being the first thing, right? We want to bring something new to the table when it comes to audio, but then also connect people in ways, whether creators to, fans, or fan to fan. Like, how do you make audio not a one-player game, so to speak? Like, I put my things in, I listen to my music. I put these in, I play my game. I put these in, you get it. How do we bridge beyond that? And to an extent, we do this every day on on X or Spaces, right? We did this in Clubhouse, right? That was interactive audio, right? How do we do things like that more, that actually bring us all together through audio?
Yeah,
so,
I feel like there is always a limitation. I mean, I don't do as much anymore because I'm like quite busy, but I used to just over curate my playlists in Spotify. I'm like one of these people that is like just so OCD about my playlist, and just that fact of like sharing music with others. I think at some point I was that one of these people that would impose their taste on other people, and we've all been there. If you're like, but it's okay. I don't try to plug in my music on the Bluetooth when I enter a room at someone's place anymore. It's not me anymore.
But you'd be ready to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely nice because at the end of the day, it's a social thing, and I feel like when you enjoy a certain type of music, I mean, we go to concerts, we like the shared experience. It just amplifies everything, right? Um, so I'm looking at the chat, and Flu says he's a fantastic writer and cook and a passionate lover. Do you guys know Flu?
You are all those things.
And more.
Oh God. All right. Oh yeah, and Flu, by the way, you're asking who's in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, but you've got Max from he's tuning in from Twitch. You can actually go hang out on Twitch. I've got a it's Kamsky TV. So that's my Twitch, and you can go hang out there. I think it's will be more fun. Just go because I don't know if you can see the comments here on the on Twitter. And I see Junior was saying San was born of vibe storytelling and Kaku Troll, our DJ sets. The PFPs and the earbuds came after.
Yeah, Junior was there. Junior was probably one of the absolute first because he had 0 zeros. Yeah. And that was at a time, I remember that, where we kind of knew where we were headed. This was even way before
We thought we knew
where
we were headed.
this is way, and we had started to do some like just fun puzzles on Twitter. We had live streams where Cro-Magnus, our artist, would draw on the green screen. So we'd come over on Twitch as like a live illustration as Kaku is DJing for a live set for people, responding to the chat. Very ahead of its time, and some of our Twitch streams were like, "Oh, we're #1 on the music stream this week on Twitch."
No way.
Yeah, people really like this. So those were the fun times for sure, figuring it all out. But yeah, it's still fun. Still a lot of fun.
And so what's because obviously the company grew, right? Like, and the community grew, and now you're expanding beyond Web3. You're partnering with like top of the game gamers and so on. How did that evolve? Was this like something that also as founders, right? You need to pivot, you need to adjust your visions, the goals of the company. Like, how did that grow within? And I see, just before we get into that, Junior is saying IOW San figured out culture first. Super important to why they have such a strong community. Yeah, I think that's definitely something. You guys want to say?
I think before we talk about like that, people have to understand that there were years where it was not fun, right? There was we came in when it was a bull market towards the top, and when we did what we did, like it collapsed from underneath us. It was terrible, and so everybody was like, packing their bags, leaving, and we're like, but we need this headphone. Well, we planned to send this out, so what we did is we sent it out, and we kept true to our promise. Like we didn't sell our NFTs; it was a free mint, and like our community were music enthusiasts, audio enthusiasts, crypto millionaires, built studios in their home, multi-million-dollar studios in their home. Koa, for example, he's one of the first people who were on YouTube. He's like, how the F do these sound better than this? Like, and that happened with all our community. So there's a point that crypto went away, and then we became a headphone company, and then people were like, why don't we just do headphones? Right. And I was sitting there, there's no effing way I will ever become a headphone company. No way. We're going to figure this out. But we will not. So
Is that PTSD from from a previous working experience, or
when I exited Beats, like 50 Cent, Ludacris, Toomey, whoever had a marketing, brand, figured slap my name on a headphone and sell, and we'll be 500, a billion, $2 billion exit. I've seen them come in. I saw all of them die. And said, I do not want anything to do with that. Right? I've seen it. So we did a long trudge. We said headphones is not it. There's something more that we have to build. The blockchain technology out there, the payment rails, crypto, there's something more that can be built. And we try to stay true to that entire focus on music and audio. Like what it was, we didn't know. So it was a long, probably like 2 year trudge.
Yeah, for sure.
And the only thing that kept us going was we said we knew the crypto and NFT world would crash. We said it makes no sense coming in from business if you can't buy something and sell something for more. How are you going to continue to give away value, right? So we said there, all that has to make sense. That math has to make sense. So yeah, we spent the next like 2 years afterwards trying to make that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. And yeah, maxing Beats is one of the most legendary acquisitions. Amazing how Apple went for them.
It was a fun ride.
How was that process? And like in terms of giving over the company, how was it for you?
I was a founding engineer at Beats. I was there from day one. So seeing
Oh
that
wow! So you
trajectory,
were like proper founding team.
founding
built
team,
You
all
made
the
like
technology.
the technology that was post Apple, like Power Beats, the sport headphones, like that technology was so good. Jimmy goes like, no, we cannot change that speaker. So next generations, 2 generations after or something, it still was that technology. Like, there was an art to it.
That's so crazy. I when they came out, I had them in various colors. They were so good. I used to
Thank
wear
you.
them. Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. They were like the coolest thing. All the cool kids had the Beats by Dre. It was really definitely a must, and it became a like a fashion statement as well. Yeah, are you guys looking? So in terms of that, where you said you don't really want to go down the music industry route, is that are you taking a different direction? What's your approach to sound?
Not so much a music direction. It's like today, if you're an audio company, people sell by feature set, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I have ANC. Oh, I have more battery life, right? But anybody can come in from the outside and like trump you if you're selling anywhere. Oh, I have more battery life, right?
Mhm.
That's not the allure of what we're doing. So the allure that we found through the community was that people love the experience. They make music for people to listen to experience, right? It draws emotion, it draws happiness, sadness, attention, right? So we saw that that was the thing that drove everybody in our community, right? And we focus on that. Like, how do you take the company out of commodity and draw experience, tie in all this other stuff like what do you call it? Like creators and value and community. Like, how do we package this so it makes sense? Um, so when we actually package it all together, what came about was that we are an experience company because life is about experiences. Audio is about experiences. That first kiss you had, one summer, one song will remember, that you remember will bring you back. That movie you saw, Transformers or whatever it is, right? When you're a kid, Disney. It is when you hear that audio, you're like, I'm
It
there.
brings you back.
It brings you
Yeah.
back emotion. That is worth more than any ANC battery, whatever, right? So it's much more than that. And with what we were doing, the initial idea is we're trying to share creators like art, and that art elicits emotion and everything else. So how do you make this valuable to everybody, right? So we continue with that.
I mean, I think that's definitely, and I wouldn't say like the right way because there's definitely many ways, but the way that you guys see music as, you know, let's say like a means and an energy that can connect people is definitely a beautiful thing. And I mean, seeing also the chat and how your community's been, just growing and staying with you guys, it's a really nice thing. And that's the thing about community building. Like you need obviously leadership. You have to give something that also transcends just financial gains or any monetary opportunities. There needs to be something more, right? Like a passion that connects through all the dots. And music, can be that. I see in the chat here, are the headphones mostly geared towards gaming, like FPS?
So, so we built like what we set out to do, hyper realistic sound that it puts you into a place where maybe you feel like you're there with someone, right? It really accomplishes that interactive audio experience, right? Oculus is a very good example, right? You put this thing on your head, and you have this whole world and economy and ecosystem of all this stuff that you can do with people, and it's spatial. So when developing an in-ear that is spatial, well, inherently, that's kind of a new thing. There's a lot of terms different companies use for what is spatial, and for us, it's realistic. And so we had, of course, you can experience music and movies and everything, and it's awesome. It sounds like an IMAX theater, right? But that's a subjective experience. Some people might like that. Some people might find it cool. Some people might, I'd rather just whatever. But gamers came to us and they said, I'm winning more with your stuff. It is an objective experience. I heard the person behind me 5 degrees, very precise. I turned around and I got them and I won the game. And so because of that, we said, oh, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a very good and just a easy way to explain what spatial is, because spatial is relatively new for the mass market, I think.
Maybe we should talk about the story. So the story is when we did Sunware, right? We had our community, our friends, they're all using it. We gave it to a friend, and then a week later, I visit the friend again, and the friend goes, "Oh, my son was playing Fortnite. He never has won in the 2 years he's played." And he comes up to his dad, and it's like on the leg, he's like, "Hey, dad, I won. You're like, what are you talking about, son? I won. I finally won 2 times." And then he goes, "How did you win?" He goes, "I can hear them before I see them." He can hear them in Fortnite before he saw them, and that's how he won.
So that's
And that
like
was
the trick.
It's like
whatever.
Yeah. He was like 10 years old or something. Yeah.
That's so sick. So that basically sound is gonna be like like the little like I don't know what you call it, like the codes basically to game the game. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Max saying audio and gaming is insanely underrated.
Oh no, very much so. And oh my gosh, all the attention these sound designers put into these games, it's advanced stuff.
It comes out.
It's you miss a lot of it if you don't have the right equipment.
I can't wait. I've been playing Battlefield, so obviously I can already imagine I'm waiting for my Sansan. I'm ready for war, but also I've been like addicted to a bit late. I know the diehard gamers are gonna say this came out late. I'm late with it, but Ghost of oh my god, I can never say Tsushima. Like I'm a samurai every day, and I'm just fighting people, and sometimes they come back. I can't wait to go and experience that. And sometimes that's a thing, like they just crawl up on you from the back, and you can't. Yep. Like if I can hear those footsteps, like I'm gonna be invincible. Yeah. Yep. You won't see me on the timeline again. I'll be just gaming all day, all night. Oh my god. But I guess that's such a good. That got me really excited, to be honest. And you're gonna have you're gonna be having also a cable, right? So you can plug it in the joystick.
So this is the newest. The ones that are on the way to you. This is kind of this evolution of, we had this product. It was a Bluetooth, true wireless. Everyone's used to that. DL had been working on developing. It's essentially it's just a different transmission mode. There's a few other headphones out there that have something similar, but you plug in not a dongle or something. You plug in the case. And actually, I've got these are the GT ones, right? You plug in the case itself to your PlayStation, your PC, your phone, your mobile rig, whatever. And the case actually transmits to the buds. And the reason that that's so important is Bluetooth has a degree of latency that you would not actually be able to competitively get an edge on people, because it just can be too great of a delay. The lag it interrupts the play. And then two, the sound is, you do get a lot of great information from Bluetooth, but you can get even more out through different transmission routes. So,
wow. Can you show the earbuds?
Yeah, sure. So these are, and they come with a lanyard, so you can rock them around your neck and just take them out, put them right in. But here are put them up to the camera. You can see that all right?
Oh, they're cool.
And then, of course, gaming touch, they will light up. These are.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then
very cool.
Right in your ear like that. So it's got a microphone in it as well, so you can actually do something that's not. I don't think it's exceedingly novel, like, or not novel. Um, when you game over Bluetooth, you're compressing down to hands-free HFP to
Hands-free profile. If
it's
you ever did,
mono sound.
yeah, Bluetooth was meant for communication. Is meant for talking on the phone.
Hmm.
So that standard has always, I mean, it's universal, right? So if it's meant for talking on the phone, there are standards that you have to abide by. So with the case, we basically build our own road, right? So if there's residential streets, we get to build a highway, and we get to transmit audio through our highway, and people can talk to us through the highway as well, right? The simple way to interpret that. Uh, yeah.
Right. So it's pretty cool. I think, I mean, I guess not that I'm doing your sales here, but your main selling point is literally how to win at Fortnite and just
Audio.
It's,
literally like
but
the secret sauce to
yeah,
like winning on.
you want to go back. So that's our current product range. You mentioned the wired. This is something we've been working on for quite a while now, and it's cool to see. I mean, you're using your Apple Maxes right now, but with
Yeah.
the loss.
Yeah, because I have a roadcaster, so I plug it
Yeah,
in and yeah.
yeah, nice. And so we find that people are generally just right now kind of going back to wired for, I mean, a handful of reasons. One, the nostalgic like fashion aspect of it's, I think, pretty big. Our ports on our phones are all now like USB-C again, like it's all consistent. But then just the aspects of, I think people are tired of like I have to charge my device, I have to do all the pairing, even though it's pretty simple these days. It still can be
I lost one.
tedious. I lost one. Yeah, I can only use the other. Some people care about the EMF, the radiation of Bluetooth, which
For
that's on you,
me,
I
it's
guess.
more like the sound when I'm like doing calls and like for telecommunication.
Yeah,
The mic on these, like there's so much noise around. It just like picks up so much sounds. Like the cables like isolate way better. And yeah, and Max is saying the
yeah,
charging is the biggest problem. I mean, I have like so many different phones in case I run out, but
yeah.
yes, 100%. Yeah, like they're always on charge when I need them. Yeah, a story of my life. Literally.
Mhm.
It's so bad.
So
It's actually funny. It's like we were talking about the collaboration, right? We picked gaming because there's a noticeable difference. It's a tool to win. And when we were talking with in tournament, you have to have 100% reliability. Like, Bluetooth Wi-Fi comes in, drops your signal during a game, you lost, right? So that was one piece of feedback that we got from our collaboration.
yeah,
And then the other one was latency. So even though Bluetooth or even 2.4 are a special way of transmission, 10 milliseconds of latency is still too much latency. So the only way you can get a better, uh, faster connection is plug-in.
yep.
Oh,
So those are the two things that drove us to where we are today.
yeah, makes sense. I mean, you're just if you're playing, you're gonna get shot. There's no way you're gonna lose that battle if there's like latency, especially in these
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, no way.
Do you guys game?
Yeah,
I gave him it. Yes.
What are you playing right now?
right
If you
now.
have time, I know right now is a bit of a difficult. So,
A lot of Street Fighter.
Smash Bros.
Yeah, Smash.
oh yeah, because I
but
saw you guys partner with one of the like the biggest like Street Fighter gamers.
time world champion Menardi.
Yeah, that's a funny story.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the lore behind? I need to know.
Yeah. So, was it about 8 months ago or something?
Yeah, had to be.
A friend's like, "Oh, I have a friend. He plays Street Fighter. He's really good at it. We should get him headphones." Like, okay, sure. So we sent it out, and then about 3 months later, Mena, RD, and his manager come back to us and go, "Yo, these things rock. Let's do something together." We're like, okay, Street Fighter audio. Like, it's not a first-person shooter,
No.
right? So what does it matter when you're like beating somebody up on the street? But then afterwards, we actually got on the phone, and he's like, "I never wear headphones. I don't wear headphones on the road. These things were so good that I wear them everywhere." And that was kind of like the conversation at first, um, and then like he's the best at what he does. We're decently good at what we do, and yeah, that's kind of like that talk.
Yeah, the thing for me too, and then we did a thing at PAX West, which is one of the bigger gaming conferences in America, and we had him come by our booth. We built a whole day around it, and he actually played against people blindfolded with our earbuds in, right? So sound only, and beat them, of course.
Wow.
But the thing that was cool is the day before he came by just to kind of check things out, talk to us, and he was playing Street Fighter with them, and we had a podcast later that night, and he was starting to talk to me, podcast prep. He goes, it's actually really cool. I'd not ever experienced this, but there's actually slightly different sounds the characters make based on where they're at on the map, how far they are from you, how close they are to a corner. Yeah. And he's like, that this person has 3 different grunts based on what type of kick they're doing. And I'm like, man, if you could with what we're doing and what we're doing together, really master that takes you above and beyond what. And he's already world's best, but like, there's new competition coming in every day. How do you stay at the top?
Yeah, for sure. That's so crazy. I think also but that's the thing. Like, I mean, I'm just a casual player, of course. But if you're doing this on a professional level and this is your life and you're spending hours and hours, you're gonna be discovering so many different layers of depth to the environment that you spend your most day in, and it really becomes like this like audiovisual experience, and that improves also your performance, I guess. If you become more one with the game, I guess it can really improve, like the 10-year-old kid does winning at Fortnite. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, Max saying kind of makes you appreciate the sound designer more as well.
Totally. There are some games I've played where it's like there's this much attention put into it, and then we had some people we met at PAX West, Escape from Tarkov. A lot of you guys might know that game in the chat. It's probably one of the biggest indie games. They put so much attention into like you think Battlefield's like attention to detail. It's like the bullet the different ones have different drops and speed. Like it's all super accurate, right? And not only is it like bullet goes from here and it's like because you shoot, it hits the person. It like actually flies through the air and like can encounter objects and things. So it's hyper realistic. Their sound, I guess, was not. And so they're on November 15th. I think they're coming to Steam and they're updating their sound engine. And this is like the community is so like could not be happier. Like the sound is such an important part for them, and it's going to take that game absolutely through the stratosphere, I think.
Are you guys in touch with like the team from Escape from Tarkov? And
yeah,
are you going to be? Are we going to be seeing some like maybe custom collabs coming out?
You'll certainly see us, supporting them and what they do.
Okay, that's really cool. Well, very excited. But yeah, I would assume the teams at the end, you guys are really in an interesting spot, because not only you're giving something to the player, you're improving their experience, but you're kind of that bridge between the game where, especially these teams, the indie teams, are putting in so much time and love and effort into these games. At the end of the day, I feel like gaming is such a also unforgiving industry. A lot of these games are kind of like pump and dumps in some kind of way. They release crazy hype cycle and then it just dies. Everybody talks about it, and only the few big ones like survive. And there's some that are so beautiful and really like a piece of art. I feel like my favorite game, for example, is Journey. I don't know if you know it. It's incredible. As soon as I get my sound through the mail, I'm going to be playing Journey again.
You like the atmospheric kind of sounds? Is that what you're going after? Immersion?
Yeah, it was just so emotional, like that. It wasn't too difficult. It was just like it was beautiful. It was a spiritual. It was a spiritual experience. I can't say the same for Battlefield, or like. But that one was really beautiful, and I think the sound really makes a difference. And if I were a team, I would definitely want to know that there's hardware or possibilities that get really popularized so that people enjoy the game even more. What other games are you guys like that you can
We're
obviously
VR.
disclose?
Oh yeah, VR. I during COVID, I spent like, I don't know,
3 lifetimes.
13 hours a day playing VR.
Oh my
There's a
god.
game,
Yeah.
Fun one.
Population One, like first person shooter. You sit there, climb, shoot, reload, and whatnot. And I was addicted to it. Right? Yeah, nothing to do, and plus being home, I was exercising. So that one was a lot of fun.
Would I honestly, I never, so I never, I'm not, I never like played any VR games, but someone that like to me always looked like the Wii. Remember the Wii?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Like,
So
funny.
that was my COVID, was inside playing Guitar Hero on the Wii.
Oh my God.
Oh, so good.
Oh, so fun. We have, by the way, we have some friends in the chat that are coming up. What's up, Sarah? We have Botox saying Alpha, Todor, and Disco Squeaker, my heroes. Um,
Yes.
Max saying Warzone was my COVID.
Warzone was, Warzone was huge then. I remember that. Like everyone was on constantly on Warzone. Yeah.
How do you guys see the gaming industry evolving from here? Like, do you have any
Ooh,
like personal opinions?
it's gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
100%.
Look at everyone loves to go to AI, but the thing I go to AI for in gaming is the heuristic trees that they now no longer need to build of like characters and stories and stuff, and you can actually have discussions with character. I was always so impressed where you go into games and they have like books, like libraries, and each book you can take off the shelf and it's an actual book. It's like, man, like now you don't, maybe the quality drops and the art to it drops, but still you can actually really create these vibrant worlds. But on the audio point, I can't wait for things like in-game sound where I can actually like talk to my friend through the character. There's reverb in the room that we're in the game, right? Like there's some advancements to spatial stemming, and the techniques when it comes to sound that I think they're going to make the gaming experience so much more.
We hate to say immersive,
Yeah,
but
it's
like you're going
immersive.
to be in the game. It's
Yeah.
your reality.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're spending a lot of time in there, I feel like at some point it just starts happening. You just enter the game. But also, younger generations are literally just on Roblox. They're
Well,
living on
and
Roblox.
that's an interesting, exactly right. It's communal. One, there's a lot of ways you can customize it too. I mean, your kids just pretty much buy skins all day for money.
They ask me for money, and then they go and collect the money, and they go spend the money on clothes and this and that. So yeah.
There was a whole thing with skins and knives.
Oh, yeah, you saw that
Yeah.
with Counter-Strike?
Yeah, so bad.
Yeah. So they allowed you to take your floor, your 5, I think, of them, and like burn them and get like a chance at a rare item, and it's totally destroy the whole value system. Yeah, that's not good. And I think that's been done many times before. I think what was it, Diablo 3 had a auction house thing that was kind of an issue like that as well. Just like different games have not really there has not yet been a perfect economy. You could talk about EVE Online maybe being a very good economy, but that was maybe by accident, where economy has not really been brought into games. And that's what makes me curious, is to see Grand Theft Auto, what they do with this new one is, supposedly people will actually have jobs in the game, maybe make more money in the game than in real life. And so just spend your life gaming because it actually you're incentivized to. And we've seen that in Web3. I know Flu here, he's from DeFi Kingdoms, like that, people made money on that. That was their job. And on all these other play to earn games. So it'll be interesting to see how that's kind of maybe perfected over time.
Yeah. I mean, and Max is bringing up a good point. Is saying, in-game currency that's supposed to be on the blockchain. I mean, that's what the metaverse was, trying to sell, right? At the end of the day, Decentraland, and all these like platforms and so on. But yeah, let's see what GTA is doing. I mean, the other day, there was I think it was Young Boy NBA that did a concert in Roblox. I
Yep.
mean, that's the what I don't know. It's funny because that's what the metaverse like really is, and it's not in CT. It's not happening in CT. Yeah, I don't know, but the Counter Strike thing, it's terrible. Like, there's people holding millions of dollars in
Totally. Yep.
assets there, and like they're just getting wrecked.
Mhm.
Awful. I
Yeah.
feel for them. Like, I really do.
Mhm.
Although we're subject to price fluctuations and very
No, exactly.
nasty.
You think about it too. It's like it's all markets at the end of the day, and it all has risk, and the economies are not backed by anything except for what
Yeah.
these
I want to
centralized
feel,
sources.
yeah. We can't really feel bad for them because we're in crypto. Like, how many times have you seen your NFTs go
We
to zero? Like,
yeah.
I can empathize, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's part of the game. You're ultimately gambling. It's yeah, you're gambling.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, and then we have Junior was saying burn mechanics. Yeah, for the game indeed. What do you guys think of like Web3 gaming? Is there any game you've like been
There,
satisfied with?
yeah, there are certainly some I know of that are not launched yet that I'm pretty excited about just by nature of being friends with these people and they kind of tell me about it. There are some that like off the grid I thought had really great mechanics just generally for being more, the possibility of being more widely adopted and actually having a good game. But there are certainly more of the games that are just kind of fun check-in games that like the Farmville type that I know exist and people still play.
I mean, they play Grow Your Garden is one of the most popular
Yeah,
games out there.
yeah.
I
So,
spent a lot of money on Farmville back in the day, so
that was, yeah, I couldn't. I never got into it, but boy, oh boy, were my parents' friends. They were all into it, and I still give them their birthday cabbage or whatever they ask for.
so fun. I mean, I always thought that, when I would grow up, this would stop, but it actually intensified and became so much more
Yeah,
serious. I would say we're still here playing games. I have my Pokemons in the back there. It's,
oh, cool.
yeah, you never really like grow up, to be honest. But how do these partnerships um, go? Let's say, like, what kind of partnerships are you guys looking for? Also, in terms of like ambassadors and so on. When you look at these type of gamers, how does this work for Sound, for example? Yeah, how do you choose someone that represents your brand, pretty much?
You have to like the product first.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing that I learned previously, like when we did beats, like, and this goes for any brand, you can always pay for exposure, you know. So I want Kim Kardashian. Here's 300K. That is a spike in height, and it's gone. They're off to the next one.
Yeah.
So how we built our community, how we built our friends, how we built our partnerships, is actually through true belief of what we're doing. So, uh, like Mena, for example, we gave him a headphone. He came back. He loved it so much that it was not about the money. It was about the directive, the mission, and what we were doing. And I have to say, today, everybody is that way actually, because when you hit emotion, it's not about the money anymore.
Mhm.
It's about what we're doing together. So I have to say that today, our community, our ambassadors, our partnerships are all centered around that right now, like true belief, right?
I mean, it makes sense. And at the end of the day, it's hard. I mean, I'm running streams, right? But we have a marketing company, Max and I, and that's the thing. It really makes a difference, especially when you're looking to, influencer marketing and so on. Ultimately, there's that spend. You can't be spending that budget. You need to convert it into organic. And I think the best people that, let's say, like, that we work with are the ones that ultimately like will do extra. And I'm not saying in a way like, doing unpaid work and so on, but putting passion and just that little extra touch and being just genuine, you know,
Yeah.
um, ambassadors. And I see Junior here saying, for added context, Sand ran a campaign early on that allowed the community to burn sand NFTs and trade for sandware buds. I made out like a bandit. Talk about utility
He has the special.
He's got the whole collection, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
of earphones.
yeah. So we've done a bunch of different. I mean, we've even got a few here. Like these were our original ones. I think Junior actually has these. These are test type 00s. There's like
Oh, can you show them?
yeah, sure. Let me grab the other ones.
Are they? Is the design inspired by Iron Man? I feel like there's some kind of like
So we
features.
put Iron Man right here.
I see it
but
there.
No, it's Neon Genesis and Gundam and some
Evangelion.
yeah, and some maybe some Lamborghini from Brian or whatever. Yeah,
Performance.
but very mech, right? So these were the test type 00s, very rare. And then we sent out. We talked about bringing in our community for like testing, and this is what we sent out to them. So 300 and some across 22 countries. These were our test type 01s.
Very cool.
Again, they are the same kind of build. And yeah, people gave us feedback. We developed, further products after that. And then, yeah, for versions like this, this is one of our ones that we went to market with to actually sell for the first time. It's like, 2 years ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's what we said. Hey, anyone who's kind of been here giving us feedback, that you could take the 3 Freeman, origins that you got, and there's some fun game stuff that we did with it. But basically, you could burn them and in return get a token that represents the physical hardware and redeem for it. And then 2 gets one of our avatars. And that when you get our mobile app to actually do all the controls for the headphones, you then can load in your avatar and okay, now you have this avatar, you have this headphone. There's so much we can do with that. And I won't go into the complexity of the avatars too, because there's a lot there, but the ecosystem is, we're set up to do some fun things that we're really excited about. And so, yeah, the last thing I'll say though is too, we launched this yesterday, is we're doing that testing again. So these are the wired versions. This
yes.
first time, actually, I think they've been seen.
Oh, okay. Can we show them?
Yeah.
Can we see them?
So these are, if you can see that.
Yeah.
And this is
the sound controller.
The brains of it. Yeah, this is the audio cortex. Yeah, very powerful. They have our new drivers in them. Planar dynamic drivers. We'll talk about that more, I'm sure, sometime. It's a long story. And then, yeah, that audio cortex is essentially offloading all the processing,
the power, everything. So basically, our soundware that we currently have, these are 300% better. So it's crazy. You will hear bass so low, it's underneath your neck. Yeah. And the only way I could characterize it when we created this was like when you have a muscle car, and you press the accelerator or press the pedal, you just move.
Yeah.
And he's at like 30% volume, you still can hear that bass. You have a little bit of power, but you have all that bass response. It has never been done before in the world, ever.
That's so. I can't wait to try it. And people are asking. So they're saying the chat is like lighting up right now. Oh my god. So yeah, Maxine. Yeah, I can see the Gundam style. Hardware looks dope. What do you guys think of binaural beats? Oh, interesting. It's gonna be like really cool.
I mean, I loved them in middle school or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, you fall asleep to different frequencies, and I feel like people are really into that as well today. But binaural itself is like,
it's more natural.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's more human. So binaural audio, you're recording with 2 microphones like you hear, right? You have 2 ears, you record with 2 microphones, and it's similar to like 3D. So if you have
my bad.
if you watch 3D, it's really like 2 eye positions, and then afterwards.
We've actually got a binaural microphone right here.
Oh wow, that's an ear.
The ears on it, yeah.
It mimics how you hear. So with that, any music that you hear is produced. A producer is sitting there picking and choosing where things go, how it sounds. But binaural really hits home with just how humans interact with the world. So it's able to go another layer to really influence like your emotions and how you feel. So hence binaural beats.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, people are saying slow. I feel like destroying the yeah. No, it's
Yes.
all good. We're all good.
Bookshelves.
We're good. Safe. Yeah, Disco is saying car crash sound in my sound where.
That's the spatial experience we want you to have, right? You just heard.
Yeah, I literally have. Yeah. Oh my god. And Junior is asking like 300 times better.
Oh my gosh.
300%, not
Three.
times.
Sorry.
It was funny because we met with
300%.
Junior LA right after
Yeah.
we launched the first
Zero
factory.
zeros.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I have a video of it.
Yeah.
0 zeros.
And then afterwards, I already started talking to him about this next
yes.
generation.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, like what are these?" I go, "Man, these are 200% better." He's like, "Get out of here!" Like, no way. And I had a prototype at the time, so I go, "You sure? 200% better?" And I couldn't like articulate it, so I go, "Well, you don't believe me? Here, try it." He puts them in, and he's like, takes them out. Okay, I get it. So now they're 300% better.
Sorry, Junior.
That was a fun get together.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah,
That's
that
pretty-
we just launched. Junior's been at every. Again, it's cool to see every. I remember he tried the first 0 zeros in the club with Kaku at Space Yacht. Was with us in LA again for that. Yeah, just good to have you, Junior.
He's seen the evolution.
He's seen it all.
Yeah, he's saying DL is right. I was wrong. Never fade DL.
I can't wait for you to get these, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're gonna love these, man.
What's your next IRL experience or event? Do you have anything planned for the year or next 6 months?
Yeah, but Philippines, Korea.
Yeah.
IRL is really important for us. I think, like we're talking now, you won't believe us until you actually hear it.
Yeah.
So the big thing at PAX for us was when people started hearing and we gave demos. I would say we were the most understated booth at PAX, but we were probably one of the most crowded booths at PAX because it's like, hey, did you check this out? And it's like, what the heck is soooon, right? Pretty much the entire show floor, other booths came over to listen to it and like, you wouldn't believe this. Yeah, try it. So IRL events is what do we say? Mark was going. How hard is it to sell perfume online, right? And audio is that. So we have in our roadmap to try to do more IRL events, whether it's pop-ups or partnerships, collaborations with game makers, like whatever puts us in front of an audience that they can actually try. So that schedule right now is undetermined, but we're going to build it up.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Well, we'll be keeping an eye out on definitely on the profile and stuff, and hopefully we get to meet at some of the Web3 conference because I don't know if that's more of your target, although you are integrating blockchain technology, right? And I know we're running out of time, but just I do have this one question that I was wondering, since you're a very unique product that uses the tech, but that's not your main selling point. Like you're not portraying yourself or presenting, sound to the world as this is a blockchain company. You're, a sound company. You're and you're selling an experience, right? But do you ever disclose that there is blockchain? Is at what point of the relationship will you explain how it works, or do you not at all? Is it something that is, because obviously blockchain and crypto, kind of a bit of a reputation problem that we have, although it's getting big. But have you guys had any issues with that? Like, what's been your experience?
Yeah, so like DL just said, it has affected us like over that 2-year lull. It's like, what are Web3 headphones, right? So there is a lot of novelty in what Web3 headphones could be, but how it's presented and how we like to present it is in layers. There are people here who've been here from the beginning who understand our ecosystem probably better than maybe even us, right? Because they've found ways to what have you. So they're going to be fine, right? The way that we introduce it to people is headphones. You want another experience. You want to widen this experience. Download our app and do the things that are going on in there, right? It's not just this zombie app. It's actually we have this grand vision for what this is going to be, right? And beneath that, you have an identity like an avatar. Cool, make your avatar, right? But then as you start to listen to certain things, go to certain events, what have you, you can unlock, and this is how we built these avatars. They're composable, right? They actually are, they're ERC 6551 like standard. You can the avatar can own other ETH assets. So it becomes itself a wallet or an identity that can, track over time, collect things. You can swap accessories, make your thing look different, and that's all hosted on chain. So if a person ever decides or understands that, wow, I listened to this thing and got a hat that's pretty rare and there's a market for this and I can sell it and I made $10, like, that's, I think for a lot of people, that might be, okay, let's peel back the layer and see what's here even further. For the people who hear in the beginning, they get a head start. They can understand how it works from the get-go. So there's a lot of value in information arbitrage for sure. But coming in and just going through the ecosystem that way, I think you're going to have a pleasant experience no matter what, and you're not being harmed or taken advantage of along the way.
Okay.
Yeah. To add to that, I mean, one of the things that we got a lot of what is it, friction at first was Web3, and then we position ourselves as Web 2.5, the bridge between normies and Web3, right? And then became the crash, and then the rug pulls and everything, and oh, you're crypto related. No, thank you, right? So we saw this evolution over the course of 2 years, and it was just apparent to us that normal people don't need to know about Web3, period. It's just the technology running in the background that makes life easier. What they care about is the experience,
Yep.
So headphones is the experience. Downloading an app and playing with it is, very normal. Whether it is blockchain, Web3 or not, it doesn't matter to them as long as all that is cohesive.
Yeah.
And when we're able to make that make sense to people, and the technology makes sense for them, and we can do things that no Web2 company can via that technology, then everybody wins, right? So example is that off the grid, they're able to, get cool weapons, this is the, and trade it, and then afterwards they can extract value from it. I mean, we're talking about, we're an experience company. Imagine concerts and, decentralized, bringing Web2 to Web3. It's really giving the people the value of their attention. So YouTube, Facebook, whatever, they extract value from attention.
Mhm.
But or Spotify, for example, but if you're able to give that value to the people who are providing the attention, and also the people who are hosting the content, right? Like, you get rid of the middleman, which is what decentralized is all about. So artist, consumer, or person who's watching, they have a direct interaction with each other. And there's no more middleman.
It's a two-way street too, right? It's what I think largely what we built here is that philosophy where you have a product, a prototype here. There's this two-way communication, not just a company. We make headphones, listen with them. There's, oh no, here's feedback on this. Here, this wasn't working for me. We keep this very active dialogue with our community, and that's been very helpful for us. Iterating quickly on products, finding issues, and fielding support.
Money is last. We want this to work first.
Yeah.
Right. So we've kept our head down for 3 years now. So it's finally starting to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Right. You're in a very interesting position because the main problem with, I would say, decentralization and removing the middleman is that most people don't really care or have the time to actually get familiar with tech. They want things to be simple, easy, touch of a button, familiar, but also just like easy and quick. And a lot of times the product we've seen come up and surface in applications, even that, we're meant to solve a certain type of problem, we're actually creating much more, because at the end of the day, if you want to target a broader audience, you need to make it simple for the users. And SoundSounds isn't, you guys are very in an interesting spot. You're on the other side already, right? If we're talking about like crypto adoption, these are the type of projects that you can be using without knowing or anything about the underlying tech. More of like a feature or something that powers through. But that's like pretty cool, to be honest. Like, we don't really see this a lot. So yeah, kudos to you guys. No, definitely, it's really cool to see. And besides, yeah, I'm very excited about the whole like spatial sound, and I can't wait to like try them on. It's gonna be like really cool. Um,
That was
yeah. Before we close, I just wanted to ask, how was your experience at Beats by Dre? I'm so curious in that.
I can only put it. It was a very fun ride. Like to go from zero and nobody believing. Like I always tell people, I used to live in the Bay Area, San Fran, and when I created the very first off the manufacturing line of the studio headphones, I was flying back and forth every 2 weeks from here to or from the U.S. to China, and it went from I produced the first headphone, going back home to do my laundry, repack my bags. But these headphones were so big, they'd mess up my hair. I couldn't sleep on the plane. I took them, threw them in a corner, and I was done with it on the next one. But it was the entire thing of I walked through SFO, not one person had it. And then like 2 years later, not one person could be seen not having it, right? Um, and it was rewarding, I would say, to see a creation go out there in the world and affect the planet, basically, right? And with that comes the relationships, comes I wouldn't say fame, but just a lot of cool things.
Notoriety.
There's a lot of like fun, right? Um, so lived that, done that, but I would say that what we're doing here at soooon early on, my gosh, like it is well beyond that. Like our early adoption, the partnerships that we're forging right now, way faster.
Really, compared to Beats, why do you think is that? Is that because of the community aspect, or the Web3 aspect component, that you have a community, or more the product?
Couple things with that. The audio quality was not the same as before. Like the audio quality is apex work now. It's a masterpiece, I would say. And the audio industry has evolved from back in the day when there were masters of audio. Like audio is art. That bottle of wine that took craft, that whiskey, that watch. And unfortunately, the industry has reduced it all to, oh, how much does ANC cost? How much does a battery cost? So all those masters are gone, right? And we're here today still, like you can listen to it and I can tell you and preach about it, but what we create is like that perfect hamburger. You take a bite and you're like, it's addiction. I'm gonna have it every day, throughout the week or once a week, and I will always have it, right? So that's how I can relate our audio to just a normal person. You once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. You will never want to listen to something else. So that was very different. There's no comparable to it.
That's so exciting. But still, like, really, yeah. Like, again, like I was wearing those Beats. Everybody, it was such a yeah, it was just such a high product. Like it's hard these days to see that level of like hype for product. I feel like we're inundated. I guess like the AirPods are quite popular and
Sure.
so on, but we haven't really seen that level of I don't know, like propagation
I
of
think
some.
that's another space, another like episode about spatial and that endeavor. But yeah,
Well, I look forward to wearing my sound and gaming. You guys will not see me on the timeline anymore. If I disappear, you know why. I'm like just on a different, in a different parallel universe in my PlayStation. But yeah, no, I know we've crossed time, but this has been like honestly really fun and such a fresh conversation, and really appreciate everybody that showed up in the chat, Junior, and everybody from the San community. You guys are awesome. We're definitely super pumped for this new announcement, and for the journey to come. You guys have been, it's crazy what you've accomplished, just launching again. I'm just gonna go back and like in time, and launching at a time that was really tough in the market, and still emerging, and building a really incredible product, and having a community that still really loves you guys. It's really cool to see. And yeah, I'm grateful for Swanee for putting us in touch. I think it's been yeah, it's been a really fun conversation, and whenever you guys want, you're more than welcome to come. If you have some more announcements, we can always chat about it. And yeah, I'll let you guys go to bed because I know it's like really late.
so
Yeah, I really appreciate it, and yeah, such a fun time talking about this. And thank you guys for stopping by, Junior, Flu, everyone else. Yeah, we love you.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the timeline. Thank you so much for joining, and to everybody that supported the stream. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.